people? What's good? Hey, man, you know what? 50-year-old, dirty, broke, just dying inside ass nigga is the worst nigga of all kind, dog. To sit there and to talk about a man that's in the hospital fighting for his life, to talk about somebody who was killed, who was murdered by police, and you want to talk about they was dope fiends, nigga? You a dope fiend. You broke. You're dying inside, and you're dirty. And for anybody that feels they have to talk about somebody who's fighting for their life or talk about somebody who's dead to make themselves look better, nigga, you dying inside. And you ain't gonna say it to no real one. You ain't gonna say it to no real one. Niggas with cheese don't like rats. And niggas with money ain't hate. You broke and dying inside. But you, hey, karma's real, and you gonna get what you looking for, bro. I promise. Another thing, y'all, as a community, as a race, as a culture, we got to get rid of these type people. And all these little blog sites that's looking for a quick hit or a story and running to these lame people, running to these people that ain't got nothing going on in life and putting the camera in front of them and letting them spread these bullshit ass messages. You know what I'm saying? And letting them spread this hate to the youngers and to the generation that's coming behind us, setting the wrong examples. They that thirsty for a story that they just put these cameras in front of anybody and letting them say dumb shit. It's like the blind leading the blind now. But we as a culture, we as a race, we got to get rid of these people out. We got to get these people out of our community because that ain't real. You help on the other side. We know that. Trust me.
Stephen Jackson. Look. I'm talking about what you talking about, boy. I've been talking like this and doing a whole bunch of things worse than what I'm saying about your dope fiend brother and that dope fiend rapper. I know you a dope fiend. Remember you and King Shu was making all them pornographic videos? Yeah, you a fiend for that cock, boy. And you and King Shu was making all them videos, sleeping with them women. And King Shu wife found out them videos of you and him sleeping with all them women. And then King Shu homeboy went snake behind him and told his woman about what all y'all were doing. Boy, you weak. You can't tell me nothing, boy. You a basketball player. You a basketball player, boy. I've been out here running things. I've been out here in these streets running things in my neighborhood, my community. You've been chasing up and down the court playing basketball, boy. Pussy fiending. Don't you get that? Hey, baby, I'll see you in a minute. Okay. I'll see you in a minute. I gotta go. Yeah, nigga, I'm in a big old pretty house, boy. One thing about it, your brother George Floyd was broke. Yeah. Your George Floyd was so broke, Stephen Jackson, he couldn't even have $20. He couldn't even get $20 from you, so don't come telling me about nobody broke, boy. I can reach in my pocket and get $20. Yeah, I saw the full video of the boy dope fiending in the stove, going back and forth with dope fiending in the stove, boy. Your brother was dope fiending in the stove. We saw the whole video. The whole video that came out. Hold on. The whole video that came out, boy. And your brother George Floyd was a dope fiend. You hear me? You hear me, Jackson? Your brother was a dope fiend, son. Now, all y'all want me to worry about my time coming. Well, let my mama tell you, everybody time coming. Let mama tell you, everybody time coming, sir. You think I'm worried about my time coming? I had 1.5, one out here. Yeah, I'm worried about my time coming, man. You think all them threats? Go ask King Shu, boy. Yes, go ask King Shu about me. He told y'all about me, man. I'm really a fool. Yeah, and I don't care nothing about what you talking about. I stay ready for whatever may come my way, so I ain't got to get ready. Yeah, I'm prepared. Yeah, now I'm tactical. So let me just tell you. let me just let me just tell you this, Stephen Jackson. Your brother was a dope fiend, and y'all got $27 million from him, and he couldn't get $20 from you. One thing I know, some boy, basketball playing boy, you ain't gonna do nothing but get on here and talk. You and now another person ain't gonna do nothing to me. And I ain't worried about none of you. I ride around this city like I can't be touched. I travel all around this country by myself, and I post where I be, and I post where I'm going before I go. So I ain't worried about that. I've been talking about George Floyd for a year. Ain't nobody done nothing. I've been talking about George Floyd for a year. Ain't nobody done nothing.
All right. Now, I like to, before I go into what Charleston White has to say, I got to talk about what Stephen Jackson has to say. You talking about silencing folk. This is the problem in the black community. This is the problem, okay? You got people in the black community that feel that if you don't have the same cult mindset, the same herd mentality, that you need to be silenced. So when it came to Breonna Taylor, the fact that what really killed her was the fact that her messing with two drug dealers, not one, but two. And the one she was in her house, shot at the cops, and the cops shot back, and that drug dealer jumped out the way, Kenneth Walker, and let her take all those bullets. Okay? Now, when blacks start to talk up against that, the real story, what really got Breonna Taylor killed, then you get all these. This is the sad thing about the black community. Majority of them are made up of Pookies, Ray-Rays, women who sleep with drug dealers, women who let inmates sleep in the house, no good men molest their kids, and then when the kids complain, they say shrug it off, or they don't want to believe that because mommy hasn't had some dick in a while. I'm gonna be real in this podcast, because the things what Stephen Jackson said got me very upset, highly upset. The fact of the matter is, if you have a dissenting opinion that is facts, okay, you say that blacks should be silenced. Just like the fact with Dante Wright, when you see the dash cam video, and the fact of the matter is that he had a warrant for the arrest. The cops said you have a warrant. Instead of going with the cops, you decide to resist and jump back in your car and try to speed off. If he hadn't tried to speed off and try to resist arrest, he would be alive. He wouldn't have a slug in his chest. That's the problem. Now I'm going to talk about George Floyd. The whole thing came out, all right? George Floyd died of drug overdose, okay? And he died of Derek Chauvin, putting pressure on his neck. That's what happened. The thing is, if George Floyd had not been doing drugs, if he stayed off the damn drugs, he would have never have an encounter with Derek Chauvin. He would never have to have that encounter. But because he decided to be high on drugs, okay, that's what caused him to have a situation where he had to encounter Derek Chauvin. And again, I'm not excusing Derek Chauvin for anything. He helped that George Floyd die that day by putting pressure on his neck. If he stayed away from the damn drugs, and that's the problem with the black community. I'm gonna say it real. The black community has a love affair with the criminal culture, of the criminal element of the black community. That's what it has. A love affair with the thugs, the hoes, the prostitutes, the drug dealers, even the popular pedophiles, sexual deviants of the black community. From the pastor all the way down to that favorite loved uncle or auntie in the black community. That's how bad it goes. All right? And Stephen Jackson wants to say, all these people, they talking about how these opinions, they need to be silenced. You need to run them out of the community. You mean the people with sense? You mean the black people with sense that will tell the truth and not just go along to get along? You mean those type of people? The ones those are the ones that you want run out of the community? Those are people who have the sense in the black community. But this is how it's going, all right, with this cancel culture. If you don't agree with the foolishness of the black community, you're an outcast. If you don't agree that Breonna Taylor was a victim, you're an outcast. If you don't side with Patrisse Cullors of Black Lives Matter, you're an outcast. It's amazing. It is amazing how the black community has so much hate for the blacks that speak the truth about, what goes on in the community, how blacks die at the hands of police. What causes the black community to be in such a very ugly situation from generation to generation? They have so much hate, but you don't have hate for people like Patrisse Cullors. You don't have hate for people like Benjamin Crump. You don't have hate for the sellouts in your community at all. You don't have hate for these LGBT Black Lives Matter. You don't have hate for the fact that they're talking down on cis black women, hating them, calling them dogs, calling them all types of names, wanting to fight them. Okay, physically fight. Transgender black women want to fight. Transgender black women want to fight cis black women. They don't see a problem with that. You have no hatred for Malik Yoba trying to make this cool. No hatred for Tamika Mallory, who's basically grifting. Okay? Off of Tamir Rice. And his mother had to get in Tamika Mallory behind. And Tamika Mallory says, oh, she deserves to go to the Grammys. You're not a musician. Who are you? But a parasite, another parasite to the black community, making money off of dead black men. Now I'm going to talk about what Charleston White had to say. Charleston White, a lot of you are not going to like it, but he's right. Okay? It's the truth. DMX was an addict. The man had millions, getting paid more than probably what these rappers are getting paid now. He had a family, but he gave it to drugs. And his own people, someone he looked up to, gave him crack at a young age. Come on now. World Star video shows a lot of those brutal black on black beatdown in the black community. I mean, it's sad to say. It's sad to say, because not only do the black community have enemies with white supremacy, they got enemies within the black community, the ones that want to keep the toxicity going, that don't want to heal. They don't want real change, because if they had real change, they would be shutting down every Planned Parenthood in the black community. They'd be shutting it down. They would not have anything to do with Margaret Sanger's abortion clinics. They'd be fighting feminism. Okay? Gloria Steinem was a CIA operative that used feminism to destroy the black community. Okay? To destroy the black traditional household. But when you talk about this, you're the enemy. Yes, black men had their part to play in it, as well as black women, because there are black women who don't want to be married, but they want kids. And they look to liberalism because it gives them a way out of facing responsibility as a woman. that if you want kids, it's better to be married or find a husband. If not, stay by yourself. Don't have kids as an accessory. For some women, kids are an accessory. All right? It's the facts, okay? DMX had a history of drug abuse. That is a fact. That is one of the reasons why his wife is not with him no more. Okay? That is just the fact. So people are going to get mad. People want to say some things that are, you know, call me a coon. Okay, call me a coon, but all you're doing is proving me right. All right? All you're doing is proving me right. Okay? That's all you're doing. If you want to come up, Mr. Earl, you can. So, this is what it is. And a lot of black people, you know, when I was going around Jamaica Avenue, all you could hear was DMX songs blasting up and down, up and down. All right? I was like, wow, this man gets a lot of respect. But the thing is though, this man was also an addict. And the sad thing is the black community loves toxicity. They love it. But they don't understand how it's destroying them, how it's hurting their families. And they don't want to see that. They don't want to see the truth. All right? And those are facts. And that's another thing, though. I mean, if Stephen Jackson knew George Floyd, why didn't you help him get clean? Why didn't you help him get clean? Why didn't you put him in a rehab center? Why didn't you force him to do that? I never really was a fan of DMX. They compared him to Tupac. I wasn't really a fan of DMX. I mean, I just wasn't, you know. I worked out to 50 Cent, Forever King. That's it for me. You know, back in the day, I liked Wu-Tang Clan. I liked, what did I like? Sometimes the oldies, Gang Starr, you know, Black Moon. But that's basically what I liked. What's up, Earl? Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good, my man.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm here.
So what do you think about
I need to turn something down?
Yeah, I turned it down, turned it off. Yeah.
Okay.
So
is that better?
So what did you think about what's going on?
I checked out the video on Stephen Jackson. To me, he's a loudmouth. He's always beefing with other folks. He called out Daryl Strawberry, called him a crack fiend, a dope fiend. And then he turns around and he talks about we need to come together in the black community. And I'm just not a fan of hypocrites like that, you know?
It's always that coming to Jesus moment when it could have been prevented. That's what I noticed.
You know, I'm a so-called black man, and I am a three-dimensional thinker. And I am very concerned about the black community, but at the same time, I'm not going to bow down to stupidity within the black community, because all I want to do is speak the truth. And it seems like black men such as yourself and others who do speak the truth, you get talked about, you get ridiculed, but at the same time, you guys don't fold. And that's what I like about platforms like this. This gives a platform to everyone else. But staying on this topic here, Mr. White was correct. He was in a gang in Texas, and he was reformed, and he just speaks the truth on what he feels like is going on. And he's going to get a lot of attacks from a lot of people, man. Steven Jackson is I'm just not a big fan of him. So that's what I wanted to say on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain things that are not gonna, people are gonna get tired of it. I mean, people with sense are gonna see that this is a running gag. The black people do all these stuff. You find out things about them. Okay, we gotta do better. We gotta, start calling out this foolishness. I mean, all this stuff, even with the court system, like you got black men trying to get their kids, the judge ignores it, then the kid dies, the judge don't want to change. Now it's, they want to say, oh, it's a whole bunch of stuff, man. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Even with
I
the
agree.
police, not every black man is a victim of the police. Some of them are participants of their own death. I'm gonna say the truth, like Michael Brown. You see it on video camera. He's manhandling a clerk. He fought the cops. I mean, I'm sorry, man. We cannot. How we gonna get better? That's what I always said. I said this to somebody. If Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were alive today, they would be assassinated by their own people.
Right. They'll be called a sellout.
Yeah.
Seriously. I think if Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was alive today, they will be called sellouts, because the media will push people like LeBron James and tell Martin Luther King, we don't do that no more. The athletes and celebrities are taking your place. So go back to sleep. Like that old I don't know if you remember that old Boondocks episode. I don't know if you watched Boondocks.
I remember that episode where Martin Luther King was alive and he was telling people to turn their cheek and everybody was hating on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think he woke up, but the boule got him.
Yep, that's true.
That's what I think. And the thing, even with Malcolm X, I mean, he called out Stokely Carmichael for sleeping all those women in his organization, and that was it for him. But this is the thing: the black community has gotten to a point where they're so saturated with more ignorant people than they got people with sense that willing to call it out. That now it's like you're an endangered species list if you call out the nonsense.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And I don't really, with the help of the government, black people are really at a disadvantage, especially with this situation with the C-19. I want to make sure I don't say the whole word out on your channel, but
because they
I know. That's why I said, I should maybe say another word. But with this situation that's going on right now, it's just, I think it's going to get worse for black folks before it gets any better. Just my personal opinion on that.
It is. And I don't think many black folks are going to survive because there's a lot coming down the pipe. I mean, with a lot of things with the how do I put this? The way that with the dollar, the way that things are coming, especially with these, what you just said, it's causing a lot of situations that is going to impact not only that's impacting people overseas, and it's going to impact black people in America, especially with this OnlyFans, because overseas you got college kids right now going into OnlyFans to pay their tuition to stay in these prestigious schools. What do you think is going to happen when it comes over here and black women can't pay, young black women in college can't pay their tuition to stay in these prestigious universities? And they already coming with Decrim New York, and all this is going to strengthen the sex work culture. And you see black people wanting to just jump on board, and they think that's cool.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I live here in Florida, and I'm gonna tell you something. These women here got no skills, no education, but all they do is they go to the beach and they take those little pictures and they'll post them on Twitter, Instagram, that OnlyFans, and they doing all kinds of stuff. But guess what? What's going to happen when your look starts to dissolve? because everybody knows that the older you get, your value actually goes down for a woman, and
Right.
men's value actually goes up because he's in a position where he can make choices. Where women, they really don't bring anything to the table besides attitude and whatever they want to, sell whatever. It's just I'm starting to
Well,
see a lot of that now.
yeah. Well, the thing is that you're gonna see a lot when this end of times come. You're going to
Hmm.
see a lot of these women are going to be clinging back to the natural order things, which is they're going to be looking for a strong man. And the problem is,
Men are not going to do it.
there
Men are
there
going to
are
run.
there
Hmm.
are, but they're not going to be the man
Hmm.
that they're gonna like. It's going to be
I
one like
agree.
it's going to be with an iron fist, and a lot of women are
Right.
going to be ruling too with an iron fist with this sex trade. There's going to be a lot of pimps and a lot of madams, and they're not going to
Hmm.
play no games. And
I
this is
was
how it's going to
watching.
be. The black community is going to end up being like the '80s again.
Oh man, the '80s were brutal, bro. '80s was brutal. That
Yeah.
daggone crack epidemic back then, man. That was
But then you got some blacks that want the liberation of drugs. They want drugs legalized, and they're not understanding. You want people to I even talk to people on Facebook. There's one woman that says we should have legalized drugs, even crack cocaine. I'm like, what?
hmm
But this is what they want. And if you say something about it, that's bad because crack is highly addictive.
hmm
Crack's only purpose is in the medical field when it's used to stop blood loss, a lot of blood loss during surgery. That's
Right.
about it. It's a Schedule 1 drug. That's it. That it has limited purposes, and that's it. And what's going to happen is that the black community is going to fall into a lot of chaos.
I agree.
It is because there's too much of the blacks that are for Steven Jackson. There's too much of the blacks that are for gang culture. There's too much of the blacks that like Patrice Cullors, that are into Marxism. Okay, the black community, I believe, after finding out about Marxism and socialism and watching Patrice Cullors' interview,
Hmm.
I'm starting to understand that the black community is really Marxist.
Yep. And they don't even know it.
Yeah, they don't. They're into socialism. They're into Marxism. A lot of them depend on the government. A lot of them are not willing to work 2 or 3 jobs, do whatever they have to do to be away from the government. And they love the Democratic Party, and the Republican Party is just as bad because
Yep. I agree.
it's a house nigger, field nigger situation.
Hmm.
And they don't see the person pulling the strings. They're not willing to see that. And they think
where everything is full of emotion with black folks. It's full of emotion.
right.
No rational thinking, not really understanding how structure is about.
Right.
Man over woman, woman over child, in that order. We
Right.
don't
But
believe in structure.
They don't. I mean, the thing is like they won't. I mean, granted, there are some men that have been scumbags, but you have men that have been not, and they don't want to learn that. They don't want to hear that. They only want to hear is like, I want this man to be a provider and stuff, but I still want to be a new age woman.
Right.
I want the structure, but I want my freedom to do as if I'm still single. You can't have that. It's a sacrifice even for a man. He wants to step up, get married, step up, be in a serious relationship. He can't be with anybody else. He got to be with that woman. And this thing vice versa for a woman. And a lot of them don't want to see that. They don't want to see that reality and that truth. And feminism has done a number on society. They're like, women are so coddled to the point that if you tell them the truth, you're fat, you're sexist, who are you to tell me about my body? I mean, just look at what happened with I don't know if you saw that video I made with Kevin Samuels on the Fresh and Fit.
I was getting ready to
podcast.
watch that. One.
Yeah,
I'll check
watch
that
that.
out.
It's just like even hearing them talk, you can understand the type of market of women that OnlyFans draws women to. It draws women of very low IQ.
I agree.
And it makes it fashionable to be that way. It's fashionable to be not to be intelligent. It's fashionable to be ignorant. It's fashionable to be rebellious. It's fashionable. Just look on television, all right? When Iyanla Vanzant was talking about, it's marketable to act a fool.
Mm-hmm.
You rarely will see a Claire Huxtable. You
Man,
rarely will see
she
a
was
huh?
she was beautiful.
Yeah, she was beautiful and she was
Hmm.
smart and she had a family and
Hmm.
she had class, but you don't see that nowadays. And you will never see ever a black Cosby show like that. You will not see an Eleanor from Rock with Charles Dutton.
Oh yeah.
You will
Hmm.
never see that again because that represents structure for the black community. That
Hmm.
represent a home. That represent family. Okay. And that actually saved people's lives. I remember a woman who said, you know what? I remember watching Bill Cosby show, and that helped me to want a family, one day to escape the dysfunction of the
Hmm.
family that I had. That one went to college. She had a family now. But you talk about that now, it's a problem.
I agree.
You
And
talk
but you
about
also you gotta look at the culture. Now today is all about love and hip hop and I can't even stand watching those shows. I don't watch TV anyway. So when
I
I go
barely
to a
watch TV
friend's house,
myself.
yeah, I can't watch those shows because I'm literally seeing all these women with weave in their head. Nowadays, I don't even know if that's a woman or a transgender. I mean, I once again I need to be careful on your channel. I'm sorry. But
Yeah,
sometimes, you know, I don't even know if this person is the right type of gender. You see what I'm saying?
right.
So as a
And
as a
they even got
heterosexual
to a
dude,
point
it's
where they
kind of
don't feel
like
like they have to tell you anything. You know that, right?
that's the crazy part because I want to know if I'm dealing with the right gender. I mean, that's just me, man. I
But
mean,
the thing is, but this is the thing. This is how it is now. And
didn't Genuine get in trouble for that? Remember
yeah,
that?
remember that that he did a performance with one, and the one tried
Mm-hmm.
to, and he was just trying to push the person back, and the person kept trying to, like, even in an interview,
Yeah, he caught
she
hell for that, man.
yeah. But this is the thing though. But this is the price about being in Hollywood, in liberal Hollywood. If you don't go
Mhm.
along to get along, and if you fight back, show some resistance, you're gonna get shamed into doing
Right.
that. Never mind
Hmm.
about the psychological problems that will have for you. Look at Terry Crews.
Yep.
And his wife was like, no, no, no. What about the money? You'll get fired. Instead of worrying about
Right.
your man's
She,
mental health, you worrying
right.
about
This
money.
man was touching, got touched on by one of those. I can't think of what it was. I guess it was a executive or
Yeah,
something like
exactly.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. But this is it, man. This is the left. And the black community doesn't understand that. And you even have Tamika Mallory saying that I, as a grifter, I deserve to be in the Grammys. You're not a singer.
Right.
I deserve it. So you basically don't care about the civil rights of black people. You just care
Hmm.
about using with any vehicle you can to get into the spotlight. And never mind the fact that her man was a drug dealer. He got he got killed because he took something from the members of the associates he was rolling with, and they killed him.
Dang.
You
Wow.
know, it was found out. She is not qualified to be for the civil rights. All these Black Lives Matter people, the ones the organization that have Patrice Cullor on board, they're parasites. And another thing is, why would you, even when you found out Patrice Cullors had her own organization and she is the sole head, that should have been automatic, kick her out automatically.
Well,
Okay.
I
The fact that you let that get on for so long, that's why I don't believe when they say, oh, we feel swindled. I don't believe that. I believe the fact you let her get that big and you thought she was going to give you a cut. And when she didn't, now you all are crying.
wow. Well, the Black Lives Matter generated over $200 million for the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to understand that the Black Lives Matter movement is not for us. It's actually uh, a cash cow for the elite and
Mm-hmm.
for political opponents and those who are in charge of the Black Lives Matter movement, which are women. They get a cut out of it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
people get mad about that lady buying a house in the white suburbs or something. I'm like, hey guys, understand what the Black Lives Matter movement stands for. She's going to make her money. She's going to get her cut, and she's going to go to an area where she actually wants to be in. You ain't going to see no Black Lives Matter folks in the black community in the hood. You're not going to see that.
But the thing is the fact of the matter is, if you say you're for the people, then if you're not going to be at least be near it, that you are for the people and you could,
Right.
help them. You know what I mean? But that's
know
what I'm
what you mean.
saying. When you want to be a social justice for the people, then you have to sacrifice and say, I'm going to be real. You're going to have to be like Christ, like you there for the sheep. And that's what you say you are when you want to be Black Lives and you're for Black people. Now you see she has all these houses in the Bahamas and all this nonsense. I mean, maybe you could use that place as a resort for those kids in the hood and let them know what a life is like if they work hard, have them spend the night there. Education camp, that could be a great summer camp for them.
See, the mindset that you have, I can't see them thinking like that. I can't see them actually wanting to do something like that, where you really need to put your money where your mouth is. If you're talking about helping helping the Black community out in a way that you think, I can't see them actually doing that, unfortunately.
They don't want to, because it was never about Black people. It was about the left rights. That's what it was about. That's the whole thing. That's what it was about. And people are not willing to see that. I agree with the sentiments because Black lives do matter. The problem is you got too many parasites on the left, and with the left and the right, and you got parasites within the Black community that want $1, because the Black community has been so conditioned to not work not all of them. But you understand what I'm saying? With this,
yes, I do.
This leftist government control that I don't have to get a real job. I don't have to struggle. I don't have to do real work. I could be a professional victim. And that is what makes them easy to sell out. It's like slavery all over again, man. I'll give you this butter biscuit if you just go along with our scheme.
Yep.
That's it. And then it's and then you got the right, the house Negroes, who feel that they're better than the Blacks who are on the left, but not understanding the two on the both sides are dividing and conquering. One side wants you to think racism doesn't exist. One right wants you to think you sneeze, racism exists everywhere. Racism is in your sneezing. That's how bad it is with the left.
Well, you have to also look at it too, that Black people have always been conditioned by the public school system and the church, and also the
501c3 churches, not all of them, but the 501c3 churches, the ones that are on the government slave plantation. Yeah,
I agree with that part. Yes, but but majority of Black folks are actually in those types of churches. Majority, because I grew up in a Pentecostal church, and my family, my family, we literally grew up talking about how everything was racist. But then when I look into the Black community, when I grew up, all I saw was drugs and crime and murder, rape, all that kind of stuff. And then I started to do a little bit more digging and research in my own life. Then I start to see things totally different. And when I see things totally different, it makes me think like, okay, what am I really seeing? And when you speak about it a little bit louder and a little bit clearer, a lot of people won't catch it because they're so caught up in what they were taught. Sometimes you have to recalibrate your brain into getting away from the structure of what you used to be taught and understanding what's going on now, so you can see things clearer. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I don't know, but that's just where I'm at right now in my life right now. So
yeah, it does make sense. I mean, the thing is like you were in the Matrix in a way. We're all in the Matrix, and then when you come to see the truth of how things really go down in this world, you slowly disassociate from it, and then you become the enemy. Like I'm not for Trump and I'm not for Biden. I slowly grew out of it.
Nor am I.
And I really lost respect for Trump when it came to that meeting in Helsinki, when he was just basically kissing Putin's feet. And I was annoyed with that. I was annoyed with the way he handled the COVID-19 when it came to like, you're only going to give PPE equipment faster to the states that are going to get you reelected. And then you wanted to, you know, with the Central Park 5, you still didn't want to apologize for how you treated those boys, only to find out that they were innocent. You could at least done that. If we lived in a world with a real political system that was out to do good for everybody, Trump would have apologized. And if he refused, he would have been shamed into doing the right thing to get blacks on the side of the right. But since we know that both sides are working for the destruction of everybody in this country, now we see the truth. And now it's best just to do for yourself and get ready for what's coming.
I agree. Self-preservation.
Right. You know, and you have to do that. And because a lot of things are going down, this is just the tip of the iceberg. That the taking away of gun rights. Biden is now trying to get the Supreme Court to get cops to come into your home without search warrants or any type of probable cause to take your guns away. And there's been a spike in gun sales. I don't know if you know that.
Yes, I do. Yep. Big time. And I just feel like we should my personal opinion, I think you should protect yourself at all times. Just my personal opinion. A lot of people are very touchy about these gun laws, but I had somebody ask me, what should we do about gun laws? I'm like, protect yourself.
Yeah,
that's all you can do.
Red flag laws, you know, these red flag laws, anybody could come and like this. Let's say you have an argument with your girlfriend, you break up, she's salty about it. Tell the cops, look, I think he's crazy. You should check up on him. I don't think he has guns. I think you should take him away. And that's it. Boom, your guns are gone.
I can see that happening.
Right. And Trump was for that, you know, and this is Biden was a race to the end, a horrible end. And Trump was a brisk, slow walk.
I can see where you're going with that one. I can.
That's basically it, man. And the country is well going in that direction. And with the black community, there's this cult. It's not a culture anymore. It's a cult.
It's a cult. I agree.
You just see it. Anybody on mainstream media, they have to have extensions. There's a bunch of makeup. Always being sassy. Always have a loose demeanor. The man has got to be ignorant, loudmouth, arrogant. Sometimes both of them. And you know, it's just that way. It is always that type. Even with sitcoms, when you have blacks on white shows, sometimes, you know, the black person's always this. The black woman's always this loudmouth, arrogant, masculine woman, and the black man sometimes the token black guy, or he's effeminate. And I don't know if you've seen that, but I've been just thinking about that. Why is that accepted?
Well, as far as the sitcoms,
the stereotype. I mean, you even see that, and you know,
only one that comes to my mind is what, Designing Women, maybe. Designing Women.
Who else?
They had the only black guy on that show with his
and it's just this is how
he came
it goes,
across
man.
as a very weak man in that show.
Right.
I kind of caught a little bit when I was coming up.
Right. And this is what's going on. It's so messed up.
I remember you was talking about the Kurt Cobain, where the guy was the black gentleman was wearing a dress.
Right.
You know, to me, this is where we are. Right. You know, emasculating black men in the entertainment world. Right. You know, and I'm just not. Like I said in my thing, I never was a fan of DMX because a lot of the stuff that he was talking to me, he was just barking. Just my personal opinion, he was barking. And one of his popular songs, he literally was talking about oral sex with another man. I'm like, pause. I don't co-sign on that.
Biggie Smalls was doing the same thing.
I know that, and I can't be listening to that kind of stuff. That's just not my thing.
But and this is the thing. Sometimes I wonder if like is that a job that they were told to do by the higher ups? Because the white music moguls are the ones that run hip hop.
I agree.
Not the rappers.
I agree on that. Yep.
Don't want to see that. They don't want to. They don't want to admit that. And there's a lot that's going on with this. The way the black community is so screwed up. I mean, you give Steven Jackson saying that it's like, and they listen to these athletes. And
I know, I'm sick of it.
Was right. These athletes, we listen to people that dribble a ball or kick a pigskin to a field goal across a field as some sort of like teachers or elders. Seriously,
I agree.
These are supposed to be our leaders. This is what it's come to. We're replaced. The civil rights leaders are replaced by athletes and entertainment.
And celebrities, and a lot of those athletes and celebrities, they're geared towards the left. And I'm not a left nor right guy. I'm just a guy that thinks for himself. I don't need LeBron James to tell me how I should think. I don't need him to sit there and say we're being hunted down like dogs. Like, wait a minute. I mean, hold up now. You not being hunted. Nobody is being hunted.
Right.
I mean, there are questionable situations, absolutely. But look at the facts first before you go out and start saying stuff like that. Because if you actually do the percentage, white people get killed by the police about 4 times more than black people do.
But all you see on mainstream media.
Yeah, but you see, but the problem with that is that they're going to get killed more times because they are the majority of this country. And when it comes to violence on their own, it's depicted through movies, cinema, etc. It's not depicted on the average on the news media outlets. When they talk about death and violence, they have to put obviously in a non-white people. Because it keeps the illusion that these people are animals, they're dogs, they're terrorists, etc. So when you keep putting out a propaganda scheme and keep putting say who is the face of criminality, it gives the perception that these people are good, they're God-fearing, they're all perfect, all right. Well, people like black people are looked at as evil, the devil. And you know, it's funny thing when I talk about the devil in deeper terms, people go over that, it goes over their head a little bit because black people by default don't think about it, but they gotta understand your religion trains you to show who is good, who's bad. I remember Martin Luther King said in his speech, saying when you talk about good and evil, they look at everything dark, evil, bad. Devil's food cake. This, that. It keeps sending a message subliminally in your subconscious thinking that not only your skin, but everything about your existence is evil and bad. And these people that are pure and right are here to correct you. Get that?
Yeah.
And this constantly this is psychological training. That now I could probably go even deeper and say this is now genetically embedded in our people. But go ahead. You about to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say the fact that you have that I truly believe that it is an elite thing, you know, and you even have like I said, you have the elites, you got the Freemasons, the Skull and Bones, and the Boule that are working together the Boule works to keep the black community down. The Boule is basically the house Negroes to the racist elite. They're the allies.
But have you ever seen a picture of a griffin, a dog of the old black Boule back in 1800s? Ever seen the symbol?
No, I haven't.
There was a symbol. A friend I saw this on the channel one time, and it depicts these were like the few black Boules back in the time, and they have a symbolism that shows representation of a dog, and we all know what is dog, man's best friend. So the people that are leaders to any fraternity order, depending how high up they are, they either Masons or all that stuff. You are actually walks of your master. Now, I heard some people say that some Masons don't think and do that, but let's be honest. if it's not black people in control, anything of any organization you're affiliated, you're always going to be the ostrich of the bigger dominant society. Period. There's no way around it. Because are you in the best interest of your own or somebody else? But they can't tell you that because there's an open order once you pledge allegiance. And not only that, they follow Greco-Roman behaviors in these Greek and fraternities. And we all know what the Greeks
like Greek mythology.
No, Greco-Roman ways.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
You know, here's the saying about in Rome, do what the Romans do.
I know what you're saying.
You get my saying?
I know what you're saying as well.
Yeah.
Because the way I look at it, the Roman Empire is actually based off of today's government.
That's true.
You know, if you want to know anything about the government, study anything about the Roman Empire.
I mean, I know there's one good book that talks about somewhat of that nature. I think it's called Rome Caesar. Let me see if I have that book with me. I didn't read it, but I had it for a while. And I'm not sure. Did my parents give this? Okay, it's titled. Here it is. And I think this is one of many books. The Army of Caesar by Michael Grant.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
The Army of Caesar by Michael Grant. That's one of many books I could just pulled up. I haven't really completely read it, but I remember it has some pictures and it talks about, how Romans used to behave back then, even army-wise. And I think that's a good start. There's many more books, but the point I'm mentioning that is that to understand Eurocentric culture, you have to understand what they always was. And we look at America is the fall of Rome. Same way.
I agree. Yep.
It is so anytime we understand the history of Roman, which is Europeans, we can understand how America, and not only America, but anywhere where there's Eurocentric culture, how it follows. Because a lot of people said that what was left in the past is different now. No, they was always consistent the same centuries ago. Everything how they behave, they move, even how they look at and view government was back in Roman times after the fall of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Taxation is a Roman thing. It's not something
I agree. Yep.
So when people don't understand now how taxation hurts people now more than centuries ago, because back then it was a robber of wealth, but at the time everybody had to be independent work for themselves. Now you are centralized all your money and consolidate into a few organizations.
Do you feel that the money system in America is going to fall? Do you think it's going to crash?
No, the only thing I see what's going to happen to America, they're going to just change over how control is going to be more facilitated to people moving forward in the next couple of decades. This fiat currency doesn't really have no usefulness. It's only backed and protected by the military. If the military was very weak and crippled today in America, this fiat currency will be done.
It will. Yes, it will, because they're going. It's getting to a point with all this stimulus money given out, and the fact of the matter is they're going to have to go. They're trying to get rid of the old money. That's what they're trying to do.
That dollar bill.
Yeah, they're trying to get
it's more to get rid of it, but the money is not really backed up by anything because it has to have some value back up. And we all know as decades and time progressed since 1971, and we all heard about the gold standard was removed. We're not looking at 50 years. We look at 50 years now since we're not backed up by anything. So what we look at the average dollar back then, 50 years ago, we look at now, it's not really worth much like paper toilet. And all this to add to the debt, because we already passed the threshold of the debt that should be exceeding in America. We already passed 22 trillion. I think right now we're at 25.
Trump left us at 72 trillion. When he left presidency, he left us at 72 trillion. Looking at the U.S. debt clock.
How much is debt now?
We were at 72 trillion when he left.
Okay, so it's bad. It's beyond 22 trillion. Last time I heard it was 22 trillion, but look like we way beyond 22 trillion. Well, regardless of how we look at it, is that the crossover money now is more in a digital space. That's why you hear people talking about all good cryptos. This no, crypto is another form of more monetization of how they can control money and know who has the money. See, with physical currency, is not always trackable per se, to a degree. But when you do things digitally, now that's trace. And it's more control. But
Sounds to me
they're
they're going to push more that
Yeah.
RFID chip into people's fingers where
I mean,
they can track.
they don't have to worry about it. They already got you ways chip many ways to come. Chip can come from many forms. It can come from your cell phone. It can come from nanotechnology, injections, all that stuff, nanotype. They don't have to really physically put the chip. And if they do put it on you, they already got you already locked already before even the chip even come, if the chip's already here already. See, when we think about chip, we fixate it's going to be like a physical chip. That's possible. But really, truly, they don't have to really physically put a chip on you because everywhere you go, you're monitored. You track. You get me?
Yes.
Because think about it. Think about it. How many people today can go out without using a cell phone for 2 months?
Oh man, people can't live without that damn thing, man.
No, they can't. No, they can't. And it's
Oh
a
my
no.
gosh, they can't even walk. They
It.
can't even walk a straight line without that thing, man.
So when we look at tracking people, already they already got you hooked because the cell phones is the best form of monitoring. You get me? And how they made it so best form because it is so addictive. Matter of fact, you can't move out and function right now in society without a cell phone. Everything you do, your business, everything is on what? A cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
Your bank account.
You pay your bills on your cell phone. Yep.
Yeah. How you get money on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Social media, your cell phone. I can go on and on. At the end of the day, they already got you locked already. So when I hear about these things about the conspiracy laws, I look at it and say, how are they getting us already? That should be the big question because we don't have to worry about what is here, what's come. As I always say, the now press, how to get you now. Because if they got you now, that's just irrelevant. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
They already conditioned. If they don't condition us, they already got our children that's coming up now. It's going to be 20 and over. You get me?
Keep in mind,
because
there's a lot of people that don't
environment.
a lot of black folks don't think like we do. I had a conversation with a friend of mine about what would happen when this society decides to get rid of the currency. And they will say, this is not going to happen because a lot of black folks, they don't comprehend how things are going to be. So it's almost like they're in kindergarten mode on the way things are going right now. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
How many people we got watching? It's only 2 people. Why is YouTube's only say 1 watching? See that they're fucking with the numbers right now because this is not making sense. I see 2 people chatting, and some of them not even on Facebook. They're not even on Facebook. Yeah, they're playing games. Yeah, but that's how it goes. Me doing content on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna have to end this in a few just in case the YouTube people. Do you guys go on audio podcasts? Do you guys do audio podcasts?
I use Anchor.
I use Anchor as well, and I do YouTube a little bit. But far as monetizing, I'm still working on getting that done. It seems like bigger channels seems to get more and more views, and they don't really nowhere near think like you do. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So,
I mean, you gotta think about it. YouTube is a business, and like the order of business at the end of the day is control. See, out of basic cable that people pay for if they still watch cable, YouTube is the second in line in regards to what media or people watch. You get me? And there are certain things that is allowed on YouTube to a degree until they actually become very commercialized. And eventually, they'll kick out all the ones that's talking this shit. But like I said, for now, the reason why information like many like what I'm doing or anybody doing that talk about these things and people already knew about it or don't know about it is because really truly is not trending. They're not gonna put it through an algorithm where people have thought about it. It's gonna be their search engine or the recommendations. You get me? Because let's be honest, how things work, how the business work is to keep people deaf, dumb, and blind, and entertained, which is one of the 3 sins of death. You get me? If you're not talking about black issues, females, and all that shit, and how well you do it, you'll get recommended. If you talk about news about certain things, trending news or celebrities, you will get recommended. But if you talking about just general stuff that's out on the net that people don't look at or read, that might catch your attention, it will not get no views, much less play. You get me? It took me the hard the hard road when I talk about certain subjects on my channel. I see the effects and even how to grow the channel per se. So like anything, I had to bounce around a little bit throughout YouTube just to snatch whatever I can and try to put whatever I'm trying to do now. Because if I just solely just kept doing what I'm doing, the channel will not grow. I've seen people that done things I do, whatever, and maybe a little more effective, and they don't get a stamp of a growth. Because let's be honest, this is a visual audio platform, but the problem with using visuals, you always gotta be careful on that because visuals now, even today, because they're cutting back on what you could use without them striking it.
Yeah.
You always have to keep that in mind. You have to keep that in mind because not your content. You get me? And I don't mind using other people's content to make a point. But my thing is this: if I'm going to go out way and let's say use my content to depict the point, I have to always think about say, is this even logical to put on my channel where somebody find out an algorithm pick it that is themed that I'm taking somebody's content and I can't use because fair use on stupid shit, which really they go around fair use nowadays anyway. You get me? Because a lot of the visuals is for them to make profit money, which I'm not knocking nobody's hustle, but like I said, anytime you're using their platform, you put yourself through the public that anybody can use your stuff. You know what I'm saying? And bring criticism. But there's limits to that. You get me? There's very much limits to that.
Yeah.
You get me? So, like I said, when you do these things, so you always gotta keep mindful. If you try not use visuals, you gotta be straight to the point. Hope to keep people's attention span more than 5 seconds, which the average human being attention span is very low. So to sit and talk about it and explain about certain things, that's one thing you have to always concern yourself. But other than that, you're good. You get me?
That's
But
sad, man.
regardless, using
Really
visuals, you're gonna have to be very careful now. You know what I'm saying? Because
like I was saying, like it's sad that you can't really spend time and explain. You can't really explain things. You have to keep it down. You have to dumb things down for people.
Yeah, got to.
That's what I feel too. I mean, I'm kind of new in the game a little bit, and I check out a lot of different platforms, and some of this stuff you literally can actually see it coming way before it even hits the news because of the way things are going. And then when you kind of talk about it, it's like, okay, maybe I'm doing something wrong here, but but I'm still not going to change based off of my mindset. But I mean, YouTube is kind of tricky. I'm still trying to learn it. I'm on Anchor, but that's kind of tricky too, because you can say whatever you want, but you got to put some money into it. So, which is fine.
You see, I feel you. And let's be honest, when you do things on podcasting, if there's no way where you have to pay just to promote your podcasting, it's kind of more trickier to do.
Yeah, pretty much is.
Yep.
Because I mean, but the thing is, I like about audio podcasting is the fact that you get to say what you can, you get to say what you want about certain stuff that you can't say on YouTube anymore. And that's the thing, because a lot of people got axed when they were talking about, the stuff that's making things shut down in the country.
I remember that.
What do you mean with the virus?
Yeah, I try to.
A lot of people got their channels flagged and not information. And like I said, with the thing with that, to be honest with y'all guys, gentlemen, I kind of avoid that for the whole year. And the reason why I did that because I know what was coming down the pipe, and I didn't want to discover anything because I know what was the intention why they doing this now. So I wait till everything's settled, then I bring my perspective. Now I don't know if I still bring my perspective. Maybe I did, but that was like months ago. But I look the long term of why they're doing it now. I just leave it alone because people should already expect this down the pipe. You get me? Because I tell you, we got almost 8 billion people in the world right now, and they've been always figuring out how to reduce it to more than half. You get me? And they're gonna do pretty much everything now. They're not just gonna do one thing; they're doing everything. That's why you see the thing with trans something, all these things. Because let's think about it. What's the purpose of people that's already sick mentally now get rights, even to the point where they could participate in women's sports? They could sit there now and say you can't call them sir, you have to call them ma'am. even to the point where they feel they're better than women, even to the point people that are homosexual. Why is this country is giving all the rights to let these people roam free crazy? I tell you why, because what happens, it affects already a sick society. So that way, you know, now they get rights. That means now they can oppose themselves to heterosexual people, especially men, so that way they can force or entice men to engage in homosexual acts, so that way they can be compromised, so that way at the end of it, they don't produce nothing out of it. Hell, you see some of them produce now. That's why you see them push it more. You see them be favorites, even to the point where they're feminizing more black men, because it entices young people to say this is the way to go. This is how you'll get some in society. If you want some as a man, young black man, you better act like this. You better put on the stress. You better look like this. You get me?
Right.
And not one man or woman are being are pushed back. Hell, even a woman, you think the woman should be pushed back against the tranny men. They're not even doing that. They up here complaining about, you know,
women ain't
what
saying a word. They actually applauding this kind of stuff.
That's
exactly,
right.
and you know, and it's going to be to their demise.
They will applaud this crap, but they'll start crying when these things start. I mean, there have been incidents where these transformers have attacked cis women and called them TERFs. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yep.
Yeah, but that was
Well,
that was the goal from, and let me tell you something. A lot of women right now are getting very much angry about this now, because these so-called people are so much, what's the word, full of themselves, that they're posing on actual women. Where at times now, you ladies, because you can't really, right, either you're competing with them or not, they're making it posing with it. They are competing against you, and they're being bold about it. Even to the point now that you confuse average men out here in the streets now. So now when men talk about the weave and the makeup, really they're not lying now, because now you have a set of so-called men that's going on getting a surgery and putting on the same crazy gookiness on them to confuse the population, who's woman, who's not man. You get me? You have to sit there now, do serious background checks if this is a woman you're dealing with, or a man. And I even go as far as say, if you don't got a kid, we're not sure if you're even a real woman. And even the background check is not going to be good enough. I hear now they could change themselves legally.
Yeah, that's what they've been lobbying to do that. They've been lobbying to do that, to change themselves legally, so they don't.
And I'll tell you why they're doing it. Because let's be honest, they feel that they're born in this world as a mistake. God made a mistake. There should be a female. So I'm gonna go to a man to fix it, change it, correct me. They're gonna still walk with the same phallus, because most of them not gonna get that surgery, get their pee-pee cut off. Let's be honest. So obviously, when they had to fool,
and when they do that, they lose all feeling.
Men,
after that, it's over.
It's over. And let me tell you something: the ones that go all the way and do that, not only they regret, they commit suicide.
Yep, I heard about that.
And why they commit suicide? Because that's one thing. They still want to have the so-called shape, pay for it to be like a woman, but will not remove the part that separates them from man and woman. They're not going to do that. So now they want to still have the fake boobs, the makeup, also even take the hormones, but still have the equipment that separates them from man and woman. It's craziness. You get me?
Yeah.
That's why when a lot of men talk about this and being honest, a lot of women are going to be offended, because let's be honest, ladies, as much how you say you hate homosexual or men that are feminine, you like it because you have them as friends. You're guilty by fucking association. If somebody that you don't like, you don't have no friends, you don't do nothing like it. No one says you hate all that, but you disassociate if you're around the presence, period, as a woman. But you see them not doing that. They even get mad at men that call out the shit, calling men that straight, that they're gay. And I said, well, look at this bullshit right here. And I tell people I don't deal with women that's sick in their fucking head.
Well, women today, they have the mindset of a child anyway. So, you know, they really do. So I really don't place any value in what a woman thinks. Because women, sometimes they trip themselves up in saying, you know, how they support, you know, the LGBTQ, the alphabet community. But yet and still, when they can't find a man, the first thing they say is what? He's probably gay. You know? So, or he's on the down low.
All the best.
Maybe it's just you. Maybe it's your damn personality. Maybe it's just you are the reason why you can't find a man. You know?
No,
Oh,
but you
you
see, it
saying
goes
something?
back.
Oh, that's
It goes
Kevin
back to
Samuels now.
accountability.
You saying, they'll hate you for that.
No, but
I
you gotta
know.
understand, the women that complain the most is, let's be honest, Islam cannot attract the man or much as keep a man. So when they talk this bullshit, I could look in it, I say, yeah, you don't got no man. I could see no any man that deals you is only for one night stand and keep it pushing. Because your attitude, your nature, how you carry yourself is very dirty, you know? And men are not attracted to overbearing, over masculine women on the average.
I know
not.
that's right. They're not. Nope.
What we could do with that? You get me? I got
Yep.
penis. You act as though that you got penis. There can't be two dicks in the same room. That's
I
not
agree.
gonna fly. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only one that dictates anything.
And the thing is, like, but the society has said that, oh, you're sexist if you think this way. Oh, you are
Misogynist.
yeah,
Homophobic.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I mean, well, they'll say that because shaming is the best way of, winning an argument. You know, you gotta shame somebody so they can stop doing what they're doing. But I tell most men, just like Mr. Samuel said, he said most men gotta stay on their square, and he's right. Most
But they
black
have
men
to
are not gonna
understand.
stay
But
on their
most men can't understand when they stand in their square. You have to be okay with them rejecting you too. You have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
A lot of men are not. They could stand in the square, but the real test is when they get told they ain't getting none, or the woman breaks up with them. That's the real test. Where will they stand, or the scarcity mindset will start kicking in?
Yeah.
That's basically it. I'm trying to get another person to come on in.
All right.
So hold on one second. I just sent him the link, so hopefully he'll come on.
All right.
I mean,
to teach you a little trick on StreamYard, since you're using this, now you could pin this instead of keep putting the link over and over again. You could pin that on top, and the link be on top, highlighted.
hold on a second. Wait,
Right click.
which one? Go on the banners.
No, you just are you on StreamYards right now, or are you on YouTube?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
I'm on StreamYard.
I think they could allow you to do on StreamYard. See if you could right click. There should be 3 dots or some. It should give you indication.
StreamYard. All right. It says when I have. All right, hold on. Because wait, on the where it says invite.
No. This is how you do it. You might are you on your computer or on your cell phone? How you doing this?
On the computer.
All right. You go out to open the window, click directly to your channel. It don't have to be the studio, just direct to your channel on YouTube. And on it, you should be able. Wait, let me give you guys. I gotta look for YouTube. You go to your icon, right corner, go to your channel.
All right, hold on one second. It's coming there now. Come on, let's go. Okay, it's loading now.
All right.
Okay. All right. So let me go on the okay. All right, DMX. All right. Okay. It's loading now.
Another trick.
Okay, it's highlighted. Yeah.
All right. So what you do?
Oh yeah, I see the 3 dots.
You see 3 dots?
I see what you're talking about. 3 dots.
Yeah, and it's pendant.
Yeah.
Because doing that constantly, you could do that if you want, but it's redundant after a while. Now, when your channel gets a little stronger and you get like 20 or 30 people watching and they're commenting, then that'll be the best shortcut.
Okay, it's pinned.
All right. So for those that want to know, you refresh your computer. Like, cool. I refresh it now. Refresh this page.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get this guy to come on.
Well, I didn't see a pin yet.
I'm too raw, bro. FD hates me. YouTube will too.
Oh
So,
man, well,
come on
you might
down.
as well come up now because it doesn't
Might as
really
well
matter.
come on in now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how long I'll have this on.
Facebook
That's another thing too.
Facebook
Shoot.
banning everybody now. So
Yeah.
No, I mean I'm not sure what Facebook is doing now. They probably suspend people. They're not gonna ban because they need you.
Yeah, I couldn't talk in my DMs, man. That's how bad they got me.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really too active on Facebook like that, so I don't really worry about these things. You know. I see one thing. If I was like and this is my problem with social media. What I've learned that not everything is wise to be speaking off your mind. What is always telling you what's on your mind, all that stuff. You know, little keywords, and you type what's on your mind. I don't do that. Every time I put a sentence, they're making money. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
Every time you put a character word and post it, Facebook making money. That's how they work. You get me? So I not really go crazy posting everything on my mind. So yeah. I use it for other means. As a matter of fact, I use it now because I had to push my channel in other outlets because I can't depend on YouTube to push where stream I do on here. Right, if I do an upload, I do a live stream. I have to promote myself, and this is more affordable. I mean, the other route could take, like most people could take, they could start paying for advertisement, but way how they're being funny right now, just don't trust getting certain monies because for that route to go, it has to be something that's a bigger platform to really do that, you know, without all the stupid censoring and the shadow banning.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
Because if they're shadow ban, it don't make no sense even paying for advertisement if you're not putting people my shit recognized. Because I use a thumbnail, that's good enough. It should be clickbaitable. That's all. Because once they click on and watch it, I don't care if they watch it for a second. They already gave me the view. You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you ever used have you used Rumble or any other alternatives?
Streaming?
Yeah.
There are two platforms you can use for free for streaming. StreamYard is one of them. And right now, StreamYard is right now the top right now because I see them advertised like crazy. You know, it's a lot of commercials they did with StreamYard. So right now, it's the top streaming service right now. The second thing you use to stream, but you had to have a very strong gaming laptop or desktop with a certain graphics card and a lot of RAM, is OBS. And OBS, you gotta have a very strong, powerful system to use OBS effectively. You get me?
Yeah.
If you're trying to have people join, you might need something like certain. I think you need certain features on your computer to link a StreamYard link just to share it per se. But I think that's more good with a good desktop or gaming laptop to do that. I still haven't figured that out yet. But if I do figure that shit out, I will use it more. But for now, I use StreamYards for certain things, you know. I will use OBS to make it more appealing with visuals. So yeah.
All right. Okay. So I guess we're all done for tonight.
Okay, good.
Because I'm going to be trying to talk about what's her name, Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm going to try to talk about her tomorrow.
Okay.
All
right. So I'll probably look for collaborations probably next Friday. See if you guys want to do something.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff I found out about. Remember that teenager that was found rolled up behind the bleachers, organs missing?
Yeah, back in
organs missing.
Ago? 8 years ago. Yeah.
They've reopened the case.
Really
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
There's also something about the Buffalo black cop who she restrained her partner who was choking a black suspect. And
I heard she got her pension.
Right. She got her pension back. So
that's good.
That's great. So I'll probably do a story on that tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm available, but if I am, I'll let you guys know. You guys could hop on the panel and talk. We could talk about it.
Wait, matter of fact,
Okay.
stay online for a second. Let me see if I get somebody online. Hold on. I'm online. Hey, say what's up, Charles.
What's going on, man? It's like Dunbar.
Oh, how you doing, Dr. Dunbar? How you doing? Hey, hey, what's good?
I was gonna hang out with him one night, yo.
Okay, good. Hey, Charles. And Dr. Dunbar, can you hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Hey, what's up, Chaos?
Yeah, I'm here with Red Pill Man. I'm on his podcast on YouTube. Say what's up.
Out here chilling at the cigar lounge with my boy Darren and Dr. Dunbar. What's up?
Yeah, okay. Hey, say what's up, guys.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? All right.
Follow shit talking dirty market, love it. Wearing $1,000 pinky rings and doing our thing. You know us. We got smoking our cigars, drinking our liquor, and what are we doing most? Hanging with our niggas.
Okay.
All right. I'm Red Pill Man. I'll talk to you later. All right.
All right. So I'll be
All right.
signing off until
Okay.
next time.
All right. I'll see y'all soon.
See
Okay.
y'all
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye.